pages are loud this morning. We break the noise and tell you what matters. Good morning. You're tuned into Newspaper Review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM, broadcasting for all. I am Abiodun Samson, and as I will be looking at the headlines making the front pages of the dailies this morning, Wednesday, the 29th of April, 2026. With me this morning, I have the Nigerian Tribune, The Punch, and The Nation, and also Daily Post. Stay tuned. And this morning, I will be starting with The Nation for this morning with this headline that says Tinubu picks nomination form to open re-elect bid. Controversy trials, MAK-led ADC National Working Committee's ultimatum to Supreme Court. Witness how $6.23 million was taken from CBN covers under Emefiele. Ruta backtrack says Nigerians speak excellent English. And also on The Nation, Tinubu lists businesses icons at Denuga's imprints for excellence. And moving forward to the Nigerian Tribune for this morning with this headline that says APC, the battle within. With this rider, how gubernatorial senatorial contest affects party. Unity in Oyo, Nasarawa, Delta and Benue State others. And also on the Nigerian Tribune, Rep approved $516.3 million fresh loan for Tinubu. Lagos GAG endorses Amzat. 1 million salary worthless without stable naira, says NLC. And those are the stories from the Nigerian Tribune for today, the 29th of April, 2026. If you're just tuning in, it's the newspaper review on your dial 101.5 FM, JDN Radio Broadcasting for All. And you know, we are situated at 1 Church Street, Joyce B Road, Okeado, in the city of Ibadan, Nigeria. I'm moving forward to the Punch newspaper for this morning with this headline that says 2027 election, Tinubu APC bigwigs pick forms, gags, bags, Amzat. Federal government targets $3 billion share earnings with export ban. Delay Supreme Court judgment, opposition fears election exclusion. ADC petition CJN. Presidency counters North-West neglect claims, list the ongoing projects. Delta community where residents drink human waste polluted river. On the Punch for this morning, NEMA evacuate 12 children, 10 infants, 159 others from Libya. U.S.-Iran war, NMPC hikes oil prices by $7 per barrel. And moving to Daily Post for this morning, where this headline that says Imo government bans frequent changing of textbooks in public and private schools. Bandits demand 5 million naira tax from Katsina villages. EFCC rearranges Bauchi Accountant General BDC operators over 1.63 billion naira fraud case. And these are the stories from Daily Post for this morning. And now I will be moving to the stories from the headlines of the dailies for this morning. I will be starting with The Nation with this headline that says Tinubu picks nomination forms to open re-election bid. On the first day of sales, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday picked up his expression of interest and nomination forms for the All Progressive Congress APC ticket. Governorship aspirants in Lagos, Ogun, Nasarawa, Yobe and Bauchi State also obtained forms at the Ladi Kwali International Conference Center of Abuja Continental Hotel, venue of the exercise. The APC Nomination Collection Center became a hub of political activity as other high-profile aspirants came to secure their forms. Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Finance, James Abiodun Faleke, exuded confidence as he collected the president's form. He performed the same role in 2023. He did so then alongside former Secretary of the Government of the Federation, SBN Babachia David Lawal. Lawal later left the APC after failing to secure the presidential running mate slot. And this story continues on The Nations for this morning. On The Nation, controversy trials MAC-led ADC National Working Committee's ultimatum to Supreme Court. Legal luminaries were divided yesterday over the propriety of the letter of the African Democratic Congress ADC to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, requesting that judgment in its appeal be delivered within 3 days. Eminent Professor of Law Itse Sage saw nothing wrong with the letter in view of the urgency of the matter. It said it is a mere request, not a demand, and the court can consider it. Another senator advocate of Nigerian San Tochukwu agreed with Sage. He said, considering the sensitive nature of this case and the timetable fixed by INEC, the lawyer representing ADC is within his right to plead for the timely delivery of judgments. And the story continues on The Nations for this morning. And moving forward to the Punch newspaper for this morning, with this headline that says Presidency counter Northwest neglect claims, lists ongoing projects. The presidency on Monday pushed back against what it described as false narrative that President Bola Tinubu has neglected the Northwest, stating that the administration has made significant investments in infrastructure, health, and transportation across the region. The rebuttal was made on Monday at the pre-tour media briefing in Abuja, convened by the Renewed Hope ambassador ahead of a nationwide project showcase tour that would begin in Kaduna and other northwest states. The presidency listed projects ongoing in the region, including a $2 billion standard gauge rail project linking Kano to Maradi in the Niger Republic, which it said it's now 60% complete. The senior special assistant to the president on media and special duties, Tunde Ramhan, who also serve as the RH directors of media and publicity, says the visit was designed specifically to counter the perceptions that the president had not kept faith with the region. And the story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. Still on the Punch, U.S.-Iran war. NNPC hikes oil prices by $7 per barrel. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has raised the official selling prices of all 37 Nigerian crude grades of mail-loading cargoes, according to a report by the oil price. The report stated that Nigeria is reaping the benefit of the U.S.-Iran war as the NNPC increased the price of its flagship grade, Bonny Light, by $6.13 per barrel for May compared to April. Similarly, Focados was also raised by $7.01 per barrel. This development may indicate that the Dangote Petroleum Refinery could pay more crude, a move that may ultimately push up fuel prices. Nigeria reaps the benefit of the Iran war. Nigeria's national oil company, NNPC, has raised the official selling price of all 37 Nigerian crude grades for mail-loading cargoes, hiking its flagship grade, Bonny Light, by a whopping of $6.13 per barrel compared to April, while Focados is up by $7.01 per barrel. And this story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. And moving back right now to the Nation with this headline that says, witness how $6.23 million was taken from CBN covers under Emefiele. A high court of the Federal Capital Territory heard yesterday how some individuals used forged signatures to withdraw $6.23 million from the Central Bank of Nigeria when Godwin Emefiele was its governor. Hello Sokobio, a witness of Emefiele's ongoing trials on fraud-related charges, says the forged signatures included those of the late President Muhammadu Buhari and former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Emefiele is being prosecuted for, among others, allegedly authorizing the release of the $6.23 million for the payment of international elections observers during the 2023 general elections. He denied the allegations along with other claims in the charge on which he is being tried. And the story continues on The Nation for this morning. you're just tuning in, it's to the newspaper review on your dial 101.5 FM. And as you know that we want you to be part of the conversation on the newspaper review in the next few minutes. And you can be part of it by dialing into the studio line on 07048 001015 and 08022102163. 07048 001015 and 08022102163. And you can also drop your comments or reactions about the headlines from the stories that is being read from the dailies for this morning on our social medias on Facebook, JDN Radio 101.5 FM, and also on YouTube, JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And we'll be glad to share your stories. And moving forward with the Daily Post for this morning, with this headline that says 2025 budget implementation concerns over the alleged 7% disbursement for security equipment. Amidst the escalating security crisis across Nigeria, recent records from the federal government's open treasury portals that the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Air Force were grappling with gross underfunding, particularly in the acquisitions of security and defense equipment, has not gone down well with many Nigerians. Recall that a wave of coordinated violent attack during the Easter period in Borno, Kaduna, Katsina, and Benue State claimed scores of lives, including 5 policemen, and left dozens displaced. On March 17, at least 25 people were killed in simultaneous explosions at the gate of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, the Monday Market Roundabout, and the post office in Maiduguri, Borno State. According to the report, Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists carried out a series of deadly and coordinated attacks on military formation across Borno State, killing soldiers and civilians. And this story continues on Daily Post for this morning. And I also have the story from Daily Post. Imo government banned frequent changings of textbooks in public and private schools. Imo State government, through the Ministry of Education, Primary and Secondary, has banned frequent changing of textbooks both in private and public schools in the state. It also banned graduation ceremonies for certain levels in both private and public schools. The new policy, according to the commissioner in charge of primary and secondary school, Professor Ikegoa, is to reduce financial burdens on parents and guardians who are saddled with the responsibility of training their wards in schools amid economic hardship. The commissioner, in a press statement made available to journalists, stated that the military has issued a firm warning to private and public schools, reaffirming its strict stance on the new policy. He added that the state government has directed all private school proprietors, head teachers and principals to comply immediately or face severe consequences, which include license revocation. And the story continues on Daily Post for this morning. And to be part of the newspaper review, I said that you can drop your comment and your opinion about the situation or the headlines that triggers a conversation from you. And you can do that by calling to the studio line on 07048 001015 and 08022102163. And on Facebook, we have Dadiolan Rewaju Nuruddin joining us there this morning. Good morning to you, sir. And also on my Facebook from Dr. Olebara, she said that she's sending this message from over here. She said, when is a nation failed or failing? The barometer for measuring it is easily readable. The readings, including system failure, insecurity, corruption, anti democratic tendencies, a nation can fail when there are governments without a good governance. And she further says that when instruments of war is available to individuals, militants, Boko Haram headsmen, and robbers far outweigh those in the military and police armories. And she's making that reactions based on the news I read on Daily Post. So thank you for your contribution this morning, Dr. Mrs. And it's still the newspaper review, and you can still be part of the conversation. You can drop your comment on our Facebook on JDN Radio 101.5 FM and also on YouTube JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Do not forget our website. You can join us and tune in anytime you anywhere you are or anytime anywhere you are on www.jdnradio1015.com. It's still the newspaper review on your dial 101.5 FM. And that will be calling that a wrap, and I will be saying that the newspaper review has come to a wrap for this morning. Yes, for this morning. And if you are still thinking of making a contribution for this morning, do not worry that the newspaper review is coming in Yoruba language translation this morning in the next few minutes on our phone Royi, and you can just pull a call through and give them your reactions about the stories that spark reactions from you. And do not forget that the newspaper review continues tomorrow. Yes, every day, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. on your dial 101.5 FM. I remain Abiodun Sampson. Keep it locked down to this frequency. And our Foniroi is coming up shortly, the Yoruba language version of the newspaper review. Stay tuned.